Okay, this video is being made because I have come to recently a new understanding of how Jungian typology pans out. Currently I think that I am ENTP, and from the perspective that each type projects what other types are. When they're first learning about typology, it's very hard to distinguish what you are, because mostly it has to do with not exactly how intelligent you are, but the concepts that are being explained to you. If they're too simple, you cannot understand what a person is, how they take things into themselves and use it and do things. So the first thing about Jungian typology is that there's introversion and extroversion. And with introversion, what that is, it's introspection. So you're taking things and they become part of yourself. But with extroversion, that's expression. So that means that you're expressing what's inside you by relating it to what's exterior to you. So since I am ENTP, I use extroverted intuition first, and then introverted thinking second. Now, with introverted thinking, what it does is it fleshes things out. So it says, it takes all the components of concrete ideas. So like sort of like how inside a computer you have a series of which steps go where, and what the introverted thinking does is it integrates how those steps can go. Because in contrast to extroverted thinking is looking for one solution. It's expressing something that goes, I have a problem and I need these things to make it work. With the introverted thinking, it's saying, what are all the ways that to put things together that can have multiple ways of using it for that one problem. So with me, I don't flesh things out as well as they should be. So that means that when I'm coming to a conclusion, it's hard to know which conclusions are the right ones. So that so I don't always construct all of the possible ways of solving a problem. Sometimes I get distracted by my extroverted intuition, which is coming up with novel ideas. And so with extroverted intuition, what it does is it's saying, okay, so there's all these ideas inside me, and how can I express them? How can I take this idea and merge it with another idea and create new ideas and divergence with itself? But with introverted intuition, what it does is it integrates abstract ideas or concepts into themselves. The perfect example of this is Batman, because Batman says, I am vengeance, I am the night, I am Batman. What is the Batman? Bruce Wayne is the Batman because he integrates what the Batman is into himself. So he embodies an abstract concept called the Batman. And so that's what introverted intuition does. Now, it can be any concept. You can become the introverted intuitive person can embody any abstract concept they want. And this is a mysticism. Introverted sensation is also mysticism, but what it does is it integrates into itself what objects are. So I am the color blue. This pen in front of me, I am the pen because it's inside me, because there's a part of my brain that's generating that pen. So this pen and me are not separate. We are together. And that's a mysticism in itself, and which I have, which is paired with my extroverted intuition. So, but then the extroverted sensation kicks in, which it does is that the thing is that with extroversion, it's fast. It's constantly going and speeding up. So with the extroverted intuition, when it sees things, they aren't part of themselves. It feels like they're separate, but they're vivid. So when an extroverted sensation person listens to music, they say, "Oh, well, how exciting is this? It's moving so fast. It's so fast," and they get stimulated by that. Extroversion is very stimulating, where introversion is very calming, and like the introverted sensation, you become it. And so I suppose that an introverted intuitive would listen to the music and say, "Oh, well, I am becoming the lyrics. I am embodying what this music is, not the melodies, but but I am embodying the lyrics," where the introverted sensation type would embody the rhythms themselves. I am the music, which I do. And so the last two functions are introverted feeling and extroverted feeling. Now, just as before, extroverted feeling is very fast. It's saying, okay, I want this. He wants that. He should do this. They should do that. I'm doing this right now, and I have to get it done right now. Where the introverted feeling type says, what do I really want? What is it that who are they really? What should I really do? And the introverted feeler says, what do they really want to do? So it's looking at your intention directly is what introverted feeling does, whereas extroverted feeling says, oh, well, I have to be engaged with all these people and with myself of wanting things and doing things and intending things. Now, when all the functions are being paired together, I believe that well, let's take, for example, if we pair introverted judgment with introverted judgment with extroverted perception, or vice versa, extroverted judgment with introverted perception. Now, since they're paired up, that's how the Myers-Briggs works. Now, I have tried to think, why is that? And so just to illustrate, not illustrate, but like putting these two ideas together, you put like, let's try putting in the INTJ. They have extroverted thinking, introverted intuition, extroverted thinking, then introverted feeling than extroverted sensation. Now that's an order pair, but the brain is not linear. It has quadrants, and that's why they have the 4 quadrants of feeling, thinking, and sensing and perceiving. But with the dimension of introversion and extroversion, in an INTJ, they have introverted intuition and introverted feeling. Those are the 2 introverted functions in an INTJ. So with that, those things work together inside them, just as their extroverted counterparts do. But the thing is, since the brain is nonlinear and is like has left and right brains, so it has quadrants, and the spinal cord, which is the thalamus, which connects all of them to a centered channel. Inside the INTJ, when they're using both their introvert functions, when you become something, you have an intent about it. So if I am justice, if I am love, those are intentions. But if you the introverted intuition takes the introverted feeling and combines them into these concepts are intentions that must be done. And so I think that's a lot more complex, that when you think about a type, MBTI type, Myers-Briggs, it's not directly showing you how functions work inside the person, because the introverted functions work with each other and the extroverted functions work with each other. It's not just an extroverted function working with an introverted function. They can do that, but inside the psychology of a person, we can have multiple aspects of ourselves that we're using at the same time. We can use, I know using a function is like saying, okay, I'm consciously aware I'm using a function, but that's not, but what I mean by using a function, since most people will take that the wrong way, is that you're doing something with it. Inside you, it's coming together, it's cognitizing. So when you're using a function, two functions together, two cognitive elements are fusing together to do what they're doing. And so that means that when people try to figure out what a person's type is, that is obviously confusing, because we don't use the dominant function isn't dominant. That only happens in a mental illness, because in a mental illness you're so preoccupied with one function that you can't do the other functions. And that's not how it works out inside a person, because they have multiple aspects that conglomerate and fuse together inside themselves. Just like saying, I don't use my only one hand to drive a car. I don't use one leg to walk. And or even in martial arts, when you're doing martial arts, it's not like one limb is all by itself and then the other limbs follow. They're all working together. And so well, that's just a basic overview of all the functions, and there are no 16 types. There are 8 aspects inside each of us that we can use, and that's it.